Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Hope you are all well. In this video we are going to replace the keyboard in this Dell Latitude E7440 laptop. So we are going to swap this keyboard over. Now the issue with this one in this laptop is the backlight's not working anymore and the actual keyboard layout is incorrect for the country that I'm in. I need a UK layout and this is not the UK layout. Now you can probably just change the keycaps, however there is quite a big difference on the UK style keyboards with the actual enter key or the carriage return key. It's quite a lot larger on the UK layout. Let me just quickly show you the replacement there. As you can see, UK layout, obviously it's got the pound sign and the return key or the carriage return key is quite a lot larger on the UK layout. So we've got 3 ribbon cables to connect up. So let's get into it and get the keyboard replaced. So first things first, what we need to do, pop the laptop over and pop out the battery. Now under the battery there's a little plastic cover, as you can see there. That's just literally flimsy plastic you can pull up and you can actually see the ribbon cables that you need to connect up. There's a couple of screws we need to remove this back panel, so there's a couple of screws there, so we need to remove that and then we can unhook the ribbon cables. So one screw just over here to the side and it's a Phillips screw, so that one pops out, and then another one to this side here, again another Phillips screw. That one pops out, and then all you simply do is just slide the panel towards where the battery goes and that lifts up and out of the way. Now once you have that panel off, you can obviously have a look around the laptop. So this is where your memory goes, so if you wanted to upgrade your memory you can pop memory in there. This is the hard drive, obviously it's an SD type hard drive, so it sits there. But the bits that we're interested in, there's actually 2 screws we need to undo to remove the keyboard, and they are actually labelled K. So I don't know if you can see that. Let's just try and get zoom in just above the memory sim there. There's one that's called K, and I believe the other one is just by the CMOS battery there, labelled up K as well. So let's undo both of those. One there and one here. And then what we need to do is undo these ribbon connectors here. Now simply way to do this, I use a fingernail. You can use a flat blade screwdriver, but the little black connector, just give it a lift up towards yourself, like so. Then take the actual ribbon cable, just pop a little screwdriver underneath it and just pull it out like so. Now the keyboard that I've actually got, the ribbon cable's broken, so it should have came with, well, you'll be able to see the actual ribbon cable's broken off. So this is one that powers the backlight, I believe, and this is the cable that controls the pointer. So this little mouse pointer that comes with the keyboard. So actually this one to the far right, you don't actually need to undo, I believe. Let's try it first of all. So let's just take those 2 off. Just going to pop that black connector back down on that one for now. Spin the laptop back round. Lift the lid up. Now there's a bezel which runs around the outside of the keyboard on these. So there's a couple of screws on there we need to get to as well. So get a bit of plastic or a pry tool. You can use a credit card as well. And then just simply, carefully, once it's underneath the bezel, slide it along and the bezel will pop off quite easily. So all the way around Obviously be careful not to snap it, especially around this part here where the mouse buttons are, because that's quite delicate. Pop it all the way around. Off that comes. So that bezel part there comes off, pop that to one side. And then there's 3 screws along the top of the keyboard. So one here, one there, and one there. So we simply undo those. Be careful because they're small screws. Again, they're Phillips. And then you can start moving the keyboard. It's got a little couple of plastic lugs, but if you can just pop them past that, just like so, and off it comes. Then you'll see where your ribbon cables go to the underneath the laptop, so they go just underneath the buttons for the mouse or for the track point. Actually, give it a bit of a wiggle, and off it will come, like so. And then, quite simply, installation of your new keyboard is just reverse. So make sure all the cables slide underneath the buttons. Probably a good idea to do now is just quickly spin it to one side or on the other side, to make sure the cables are coming through. Just try and do it on camera for you. So we've got the main one there, we've got the other one there, and one there, so 1, 2, 3. Just make sure they don't get caught on anything as you're putting it through, like so. Turn the laptop back over again. And then, as I say, installation is, the reverse. So start off at the bottom of the keyboard and just slide it underneath. There's a couple of metal lugs on the bottom of the keyboard, a few of them. You'll see they literally just go underneath the plastic of the keyboard. Now, it won't drop down because you need to get it past the plastic lugs on the side. So just make sure the keyboard's nice and aligned. Drop it down like so. You'll hear it click in, and you'll also see the plastic lugs actually go over the very far edge of the keyboard. Pop your screws back in, being careful not to drop them. Or drop your screwdriver. So 1, 2, 3, so I won't put the bezel back on just yet in case you need to adjust it, but you should be okay. So here we go, back to these 3 ribbon cables. I was correct, this one I believe is actually for the laptop buttons. So for the volume control buttons and possibly the power button maybe, but I think it's for those buttons there. So as I say, this one to the far right you don't need to disconnect. So again, get your ribbon cables. Try and zoom in for this bit. Okay. So making sure the black connector is lifted up. Get your ribbon cable. just gently place it in. If you find it difficult, then you can use a pair of pliers. Like so. Ribbon cable essentially just slides into just underneath the black connector, just like so, and then you can pop your black connector down. Let's do the main big one. Lift it out of the way, black connector's up, good. Make sure the ribbon cable is pretty much aligned, and then make sure it slides to underneath the black connector, and then pop that down like so. And then the third one, which I believe is for the backlight, which is broken on the keyboard, I took out. Sorry if I'm blocking the camera, I'm doing it around the other way. So again, the cable's just slid in underneath the black connector, and you push the black connector down. That's that, simple as that. Let me just zoom back out quickly. There we go. So cables are in. What we need to do is put our screws back in to hold the keyboard. So back in the holes which are labelled K. Like so. Then we can pop back in the rear cover, underside cover. So if you line up the edge first of all, just drop it down, then you can push it back like so, and then your screw holes will line up. Put your screws back in. 1, 2, and then finally we flip it over and click back in our bezel. Now probably the easiest way to do is where you've got the Latitude logo, sorry, the bottom edge of the bezel, just slide that edge in first of all, so it's got the biggest lugs on there, and then just work your thumb around, just popping it back on again. And there you have it. Done. Keyboard replaced. But that's it. It's just a real quick, simple video for you on how to replace a keyboard on one of these Dell laptops. I hope that was useful for you. Please consider subscribing to the channel. It's very much appreciated. We're posting more and more videos all the time. And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. That's also very much appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Hope to see you all again soon. Bye bye for now.